This is Judge Joe Brown, and we're listening to We All Be News. News Free Dixie for the 21st century.
Once upon a time, God created the sun. And from that sun, he put people. These people were called the sun people. The sun people lived under the sun. So they lived under abundance. They never wanted for anything because the sun gave them everything. If they were hungry, the food grew. If they got thirsty, they could get clean, fresh drinking water. If they wanted fruit, it grew off the tree. Diamonds ran in the water, gold popped up through the land. Sun people were a peaceful people. They lived in harmony with nature. They never needed doors on their houses because nobody stole. No man had to worry about his wife because no man would go there. No woman had to worry about her husband because no other woman would go there. They were so peaceful because they wanted for everybody else what they wanted for themselves. The sun people lived in heaven by themselves in peace. But then there was the ice people. Ice people lived under the ice. They had no sun. So they never lived in harmony with nature because nature never provided for them. If they got thirsty, they had to try to melt some of that ice. If they couldn't melt it, they would kill each other and drink the blood out of the skull. They didn't have fresh fruit and fresh vegetables, so they had to eat the worms and the mice and whatever varmint that would run around on the ground. And when there was no food around, they would eat each other. Because there was never enough to go around in the land of the ice people learned to be conniving. They learned to be manipulative. They learned to be deceitful. They learned to be liars. They learned to be deceptive. Why? Because there was never enough for everybody. So in order to keep what you had to manipulate other people. One day the ice people came into the land of the sun. And they walked in there and they looked and they said, look at this shit. God blessed these people with everything and God gave us nothing. But when the sun people saw the ice people, the sun people didn't reject them. The sun people ran over to the ice people and said, hey, we don't know where y'all from, but y'all smell, so we're going to wash y'all up. And so they went and got some of that African black soap and they taught the ice people how to wash your butt that you wash up every day. And they had a hairy back, so they would teach them how to shave all that hair off their back. And the woman would have her menstrual cycle, she wouldn't do nothing about it. So the women would teach the ice women, you're supposed to wear something more than monthly. You don't just let it run like that. And then when the ice woman went to cook the food, the sun woman had to tell the ice woman that you can't eat the food raw. They would just kill the animal and eat it. And some people say, no, baby, you got to cook that. It got germs in it. Where the hell y'all come from? Put some jerk sauce and some paprika on the meat, damn it! Where the hell these ice people come from? And guess what? The more you help them, the more they hate you. They grew contemptuous in you. They said, who the hell are these people to look down on us? But you didn't look down on them. You tried to show them. You accepted them as your own. But because they was from the ice, they have been geo-psychologically altered to be out of accord with nature. So guess what? The ice people got together one day and they said, we're going to take everything the sun people got. And while you were steadily trying to include them into your family, they started manipulating. They started stealing. They started creating weapons. And they came up with something that is the exclusive prerogative of the white man. Genocide. The selective extermination of a whole group of people. You wasn't into that. Because you're not ice, you're sun. You are in harmony with nature. People say, how did white people take over Africa if you were so great? Because they benefited from an unfortunate circumstance in nature and history called the gun. We had gunpowder first, but we used it for spiritual ceremony. We wasn't interested in genocide. When the white man got it, he used it for genocide. So it's not that he was better than you. It's just that he's willing to do things that are not consistent with your nature. And the one thing some people need to understand about ice people, you can't include them, you can't integrate them, you can't accommodate them. They are anti-nature. They hate God and they hate the universe because it didn't bless them the way it blessed you. They have no protection from the sun, but you do. They have no genetic dominance, but theirs is recessive. They hate you for it. Some people, we live in harmony with nature. If we see a snake crawling by, we don't bother the snake. We say that's a snake. Go ahead. Ice people can't do that. Ice people see a snake, they want to go inside of it. Let me see if I can get in. You see a tiger, you don't mess with the tiger. He got his purpose. Ice people, when they kill the tiger, cut him open, wear his clothes, sell his teeth, They see whales in the ocean. Can't leave the well alone. We're going to get the well oil. We're going to get the plug. Half the animals on the planet are extinct now because of ice people. They do not live in harmony with nature. So if you are sun, divine nature, ice, anti-nature, what happens when a person of the sun lays down to have a baby with a person from the ice? Our biracial brothers and sisters are still African. I don't see you no different if you got a white mother or white father, because the genetic domination makes you an African whether you like it or not. You're not biracial or multiracial. You African, but I need you to accept it and own up to it. Too many biracials want to play black power at the Umar lecture, but when you catch your ass in the supermarket with your Jewish grandparents, everybody don't see it. But the ancestors sent me here tonight to tell you something, Arkansas. Understand the nature of the ice people before it's too late. Because the ice people have a plan to exterminate your entire species. And if they cannot do that, they want to switch places with you. They want the ice people to come live in the land of the sun. And they want to send the sun people to the land of the ice. And if you ain't careful, if you keep trying to change people who don't want to be changed, sooner or later you will not be here. Love yourself first and let God handle the rest.